Most gardeners harvest their figs way too early. Today I'm going to show you 5 ways that I have learned on how to identify when a fig is perfectly ripe and ready to harvest. So stick around to see how to pick a perfectly ripe fig every time. The first way to identify if a fig is ripe is the size. The fig will continue to increase in size as it begins to mature and ripen on the tree. A young, immature, and unripe fig tends to be small and green in color. However, if the fruit stays small and does not grow in size, this may be due to a lack of sufficient water. Or it's too cold out. Or there might be too many figs on the tree and they need to be thinned. The second way to identify if a fig is ripe is the color. Some varieties have different ripening habits than others, so you need to know the proper color of your figs. There are black figs, purple figs, green figs, and brown figs. And for many varieties, the color change is obvious, so you know when the fig is starting to ripen. For varieties like this brown turkey fig, the color will change from green to brown as the fruit ripens. For other varieties like this Canadria, the mature fruit still has a green hue. So in this case, you cannot just rely on the color of the fig, as you will not see a noticeable difference in the color as it continues to ripen. The next way to identify if a fig is ripe is the appearance. Check out to see how does the fruit hang on the tree. Is the fruit reaching out or is it droopy? Say this fig right here that is still stretching out. This fig is not ripe. Or does it even look overripe? If it looks overripe, then it's probably perfect to pick from the tree. A fully ripened fig will begin to droop and hang or bend at the stem where it's attached to the tree. Another way to identify if a fig is ripe is to touch the fig. If the fig is still firm, it is not ripe. This means the ripening process has not yet taken place. The fig should be soft to touch, and it should feel like it's squishy on the inside, almost like the inside is no longer solid, like a jelly. Hey guys, it's Lori, and I am hanging out in my backyard garden. And if you like the content that we're giving, please consider subscribing to the channel. Click that like button so we know this is the type of content that you want to see. Last year was the first year that Keith and I actually were able to harvest our first fig in the backyard, and we were hooked. We are not experts, but we have definitely learned a lot over the last year, and we want to share with you what our experiences are with growing figs in our own backyard. And if you're interested in seeing how Keith and I started with our backyard journey, I'll leave a link here and down below in the description so you can see how our fig obsession started. The final way to identify if a fig is ripe is taste. A ripe fig is flavorful and sweet, and it may have a hint of berry, honey, or sugar flavors. It depends on the variety. Whereas an unripe fig can really taste rubbery, dry, or really lack the sweetness flavor. To ensure optimal flavor, sweetness, and texture, it is crucial to harvest a fig when they have fully ripened on the tree. When you harvest the fig, you will notice that the fresh, ripe fig will come away from the tree with ease. And with some really ripe figs, you might even see them dropping to the ground. If you are still unsure if the fig is ripe, then the most effective way to learn how to tell the difference between a ripe fig and an unripe fig is a taste test. Most people harvest the figs way before the figs are fully ripened. Try leaving the fig on just a little bit longer to reach the peak of flavor and compare the overripe fig with an unripe fig. You will be amazed at the flavor difference. That is really, really good. And a final bonus tip. There are some figs out there where the juice or the nectar may actually be oozing out at the very base of the fig while it's still on the tree. This is another sign that you know that fig is ready to harvest. The challenge with letting the fig ripen on the tree is you may have birds or other critters that are interested in your figs. Another way to protect your figs is putting a little netting over the fig just to protect them during that last final stage of the fig ripening, just like we did with these pomegranates. By following these 5 easy tips, you're going to be able to pick a ripe fig every time. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you on the next video.